Bonjour.
Hi guys.
G'day.
Première question. First question.
I have no.
Hello.
Hi.
G'day.
I'm Mark Patrick with Mental Life's website. Black Dog Barking was released 3 years ago. Today, or you are now releasing a new album, Breakin Outta Hell. What was this hell been through for the past 3 years?
Hangovers.
Hangovers. Lots of hangovers. Yeah. No, seriously.
The only way out of a hangover is to just, just get on stage and play rock and roll. And that seems to be what we've used, forever. And the fans, they've got so much energy, they pick you up. And but Breakin Outta Hell, it's for everybody, that's having a hard time, or even if you just had a hard week at work or university studying, trying to learn economics and stuff that you don't know what the fuck is going on, and you're like, I don't fucking know about this shit, I just want to rock. Or just kid in school. But anyone who's having a bit of a shit day, we've got a saying, it's called world off, music on. So that's what it's about. Breakin Outta Hell, rock and roll's your one-way ticket out.
Thank you.
And why have you choose Spin Farm Record for this? Why have you choose?
We basically Roadrunner. The option was up, so the deal was up, and Roadrunner. A lot of friends of Roadrunner moved on, and Spine Farm has a whole new plan. Basically, they are a metal rock label and they've been around for a while, but they're getting serious. They've got a few plans. They're putting a lot of investment in. Universal's putting a lot of investment in the label, and we wanted to be a part of that. So we figured the option's up. Let's start fresh with a new label. And the thing was, they came to us and said, how do you want to make your record? And so we said, well, usually we go to the States and we find a producer. They said, well, yeah, but how do you want it? Like, think outside the box. And we were like, well, we
want to do it in Australia.
We've never made one in Australia. We've always wanted to work with Bob since Run Wild, and Mike Fraser's the best engineer in the world. Can we have them fly to Australia and do it there? And they said, yeah.
Was it in the same studios? In the same studios as the other album?
Oh, no.
All the other 3 albums were in America.
Chicago, 2 in LA.
Yeah. This one was in Sing Sing Studios in Melbourne, which by the end of the year, unfortunately, will be probably knocked down for apartments. Which is a shame, but I'm not sure if you may know there's a famous Australian band a few years back called The Living End. What the hell are you doing? But anyway, it's called The Living End. I'll just continue, John, don't worry about me. They recorded their best stuff there. A lot of bands in Australia recorded their best stuff there, had proper analogue tape machines. I'm pretty sure we bought our analogue tape from France for this studio. And, but world-renowned studio was great, and really happy with the way it went.
In Australia, we have 240 volts coming out of the wall, and guitar amps react differently to to how much voltage you put into them. In the US, it's only 110. So, but even though there's a technical thing that makes it sound the same, it doesn't quite sound the same. There's a little bit more edge in the guitar sound in Australia, and that's something that's synonymous with Australian bands from the 70s and the 80s that recorded there a lot. There's a certain Australian sound, that Aussie pub rock and roll sound, and that's something we wanted to capture.
And which amp do you use to record? Is it the same that on the stage?
It's the same amp I've recorded it with on every album, except I didn't need a step-down transformer.
Yeah.
It's a step. I didn't need a transformer. It's just into the wall. It's a Marshall J&P master volume from 1979.
From memory in the States, Joel was always battling to get a good tone. You would go weeks in the States.
We would spend weeks going around trying to find a tone, so I'm like, I just need a bit more edginess, grit to it.
Or as you put it, cats off the drapes.
Cats on the drapes.
Cats on
but
the
there's a certain ugliness and a naked truth to an Australian sounding guitar, and that's something that we wanted to capture. It's not for everybody, it is an ugly sound, but it's with the band together, 2 guitars together, it works.
Why did you choose to work again with Sebastian?
With Marlette, Bob Marlette?
Marlette.
Yeah, that's right.
That's okay.
It's another guy.
I've got you. We always wanted to work together again. And when we went to LA 10 years ago to work with him on Running Wild. We were kids. We didn't, we had to learn a lot. We had to mature a bit, and there's a lot you need to learn. I mean, there was one thing where he goes, you guys need hooks, and John goes, hooks? What do you mean?
We're going fishing. We're going fishing.
And he just went. It's just like, So we literally didn't know. We just used to go, rock and roll, rock and roll. And so we needed a little bit more education. So he kind of helped us in that respect. And he always said, if we can work together again, as you guys get a bit more down the line,
The thing is, he pulled something really special out of us for Running Wild, and there's no way we would have had that at home without Bob.
Yeah.
And we always knew it, and we wanted to wait to the right time to see if he could do it again down the track. And he pulled things out of us on this one. There's a track called Rivalry, and there's no way without Bob would have we come up with that.
Yeah.
There's just certain groove and blues elements that he really pulled out of us, and the edginess and the heaviness that you hear on the record. That's Bob kicking us and kicking something else, going, come on, get it harder, get it heavier.
Yeah.
You can hear in this records, it's more bluesy and more groovy than the other one.
Yeah.
And it's weird though, what's really cool is Breakin Outta Hell and Running Wild do seem related, and it seems to somehow, which is really kind of cool, because it means we've had a journey, we've learned a lot with the other two records.
A musical journey.
But we've learned a lot, but it's, to be in a band 10 years later and still do what you do.
10-year anniversary of Running Wild too, so 10 years of working with Bob, 10 years of professional recording, 10 years, it's a big thing to do, so Running Wild and Breakin Outta Hell, so it's born to run and born in the USA. 10 years.
And you picture yourself in front of huge stadiums when writing the song, because obviously it's built to be live.
Yeah.
Such as the last
You
one.
do.
So I imagine myself and with others in waiting
Live,
for the
live
live.
in the car.
Yeah.
I
I don't have any license because of you. So many tickets because
I'll give you my manager's phone number and let him.
We do that though. That's why we do what we do. That's why we enjoy playing live, why we're out here and always having a good time. If we were out here playing songs we didn't love as much and didn't know that they were going to go down live and make a guy that probably works in an office 24/7 pour beer on his head and come over the rail, that means we've done our job. It means we're providing rock and roll that makes people get excited, which makes us get excited, which means we're doing the right
It's
thing.
a license to let loose.
Hence probably why we don't have any belts.
And have you already booked some show in Paris or in France?
Yep, December
December.
1st and 2nd at Le
2 days? 2 days in Paris?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're also going to go out to La Rochelle. So we're going to go out, and because we want to do more of that. We want to tour more of the. Well, in Australia we have the outback, so the French outback. We want to get out there in the bush, and we want to play to people out there because you're not the biggest country in the world, but you're one of the most fucking passionate for rock and roll, and we want to get out there and we want to try all the wine as well. And we want to see all the people.
And have you the project to play at some festival this next summer? Maybe
For sure.
Yeah,
We'll be back for summer.
Absolutely.
Not
2017.
Not sure which ones, but we'll be doing a couple hopefully, if they'll have us.
I think I heard in one of your songs, a new album, that you become crazy when you drink.
Yeah, when I drink I go
Is
crazy.
that true?
Well, it's written from a night out on the pits.
Yeah. It was literally, because Joel and I were obviously live near each other, we spent a lot of time working on songs. We went out, as we do, after trying to work on, this song, because Joel, there's an artist called Billy Thorpe, who has a song.
Most people I know think I'm crazy.
And
Because my whole life as a kid, I've always wanted my own song that is crazy. And
So we went out, and we wanted a crazy song for the record. We wanted a song that had crazy in it, but didn't want it to sound cheesy though.
This was what we were feeling, we're like, fucking,
Yeah, so in the morning, Joel comes in, he's hungover, and goes, I've got the song title for the crazy thing we want. I went, what is it? He was like, when I drink, I go crazy. And I was like, do you remember what you were doing last night? And he was like, no, what? And I went,
I said, fuck man, how did we even get home? I don't even remember. Did we get a cab? Why did we walk?
So we were at a pub, and I was drinking with the bar manager, and he pointed, we're on the second floor, and he pointed down, he goes, Ryan, is that your brother? And Joel's in the middle of the road, just directing traffic like a ninja.
And there's a line in the song
Standing drunk
in the middle of the road,
directing traffic like a ninja.
Originally, it was standing drunk in the middle of Brunswick Street.
Yeah.
But so we thought no one's going to know what that is, so we just said the road. But so it's a real, and that's all the songs on this record are like that.
The album is a lot more personal to us. It does have a lot. We've got a lot more
And
personality.
that's part of Bob. That's part of him going.
He got that out of
you
us.
know.
And just about alcohol, do you prefer Bordeaux or Bourgogne in France?
That's a fair question for the connoisseur.
That depends on what you're eating. Okay, if you're having, lamb and then I go Bourgogne. If you're having steak, I go Bordeaux. But that depends. That's like Metallica and AC/DC. It depends what you're having at the time.
Speaking about AC/DC, what's your feeling about what's happening this year to the band?
Well, so they first and foremost, Angus Young is Malcolm is his brother, and for the first time in his whole life to go out on the road to start the tour without his brother. There's no way Ryan and I can do that. He must have the biggest balls in the world just to even do that. So they record the album, Rock or Bust with Stevie on guitar, and then just before they're about to go on the road, Phil Rudd runs into trouble in New Zealand. That's another chance anyone could go bust and take the easy way out. And then with Brian, it's the same thing. It's like you could take the easy way out, but it's rock or bust. They can't go bust. They got to rock. So to me, I love watching Angus play. He's one of the greatest fucking rock and rollers in the whole world has ever seen and heard. And he's got the biggest ball. He's a little tacker, but his balls must be the size of basketballs. He's the real deal, and he loves his fans so much. The guy doesn't need the money. He's out there playing because he loves playing rock and roll. So AC/DC is, anything can happen with them. And the thing is, the ship is still above the water and they're still rocking. So,
Even with Axel, you don't have.
Well, I heard they did Livewire the first time.
Yeah.
And I seen it on YouTube. I'm like, fuck, he's singing it great,
He's doing the job.
Angus, I haven't heard Angus Young at fucking, what is he, almost 60, play Livewire. I was like, it's great, and I think, again, he's got the biggest balls and fucking, good. Fucking AC/DC all right.
AC/DC will be always AC/DC.
Yeah.
To go back to your new album, how do you choose the songs for the next weekend?
This is hard.
Do you taste it?
Well, the problem is, so Breakin Outta Hell and Rivalry will be in the set. It's All for Rock and Roll has to be because it's about Lemmy. And in December, that'll be almost a year from his passing.
It's about bringing everyone together who's in rock and roll, from road crews to fans to bands. It's all about the one.
Yeah.
So I think from then,
We'll probably have a rotating set list. So it'll be like, one night we'll play this song and then the next night we'll play something else. So we'll change it up a little bit. Not like Bruce Springsteen, which is a brand new set every single night. I've seen him 3 nights in a row. One night was Born to Run, the next night was Born to USA, and then the third night was just every greatest Bruce Springsteen song you've ever heard. I don't know how they do it.
And it's 3 hours or more every time.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours, and he counts the song in, and everyone goes, "Oh, yeah, I know what it is," and then they play.
Do you record lots of songs and after you choose especially the best one?
pretty much we recorded, it's about 30 demos. But what was really interesting with this time around, just like the label, Bob trusted us with the songs. When he came into pre-production, he didn't, like any other producer would, want to hear all the demos and then sort of go, well, I think that's strong, that's strong. He just goes, right, what do you think?
What do you think?
And we went,
Show me what you think is your next best one.
so we had to make the decision. And that was pretty daunting because...
Normally you let the producer
Yeah,
sort
you
of
feel,
help.
yeah.
He's
you feel
like, I don't even want to hear if it's shit. If you think it's shit, I don't want to hear it. So,
Yeah.
okay.
If you feel it should make the record, then let's make it better.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. So like Never Too Loud for me was one of those songs that we were passionate about because it's about ripping down venues and stuff like that. And we're like, and he's like, well, cool, let's make it so everyone loves it.
Yeah.
You were telling us that it's more personal. You're telling us that you had to make some decisions. How would you describe Airbourne's evolution between Black Dog Barking and this new album?
Okay.
Well, Black Dog Barking, we chose Brian Howes to do it, but we were on a producer meeting trip in America. So it was sort of, here's the producers that we think would be great for Airbourne, and we met them all, and Brian was fantastic to work with. This time around, it was them literally saying, tell us who. And with that meant, if we fucked up, we couldn't blame anybody. It was on our shoulders. This record is on our shoulders. We had to get it right, so we had to think about it. And so it did took a lot of thought, to get it right, because
The main decision making was the 10 years of Running Wild, and then the relationship we'd had with Bob, and how he always said, we got to do this again, just wait for the right record. It was like an alarm bell that kept going off in our head. And Bob has a way of getting heaviness out of the band, and it was one of those things where we really thought this is the right album to do that with him. And to have Mike Fraser alongside him. Now, those guys had never worked together before, but that was one of the major things that we always wanted to do, was have Mike Fraser engineer and mix the record, and to have Bob and Mike doing that was a dream team. The last time Bob had his own engineer, because he normally does it himself, was on Running Wild. We didn't know that, but that was the thing, and we were like, fuck.
10 years ago.
So it was, it doesn't mean, but see, with Brian and Jay on Black Dog Marking, we had such a great working relationship that, the next record might be with them, or it could be with Bob, or it could be with someone else. So we've met a lot of great people along the way, and we've been lucky like that.
Can we expect a live album?
Yeah, I'd imagine on this tour there'll be some sort of thing, because we've got 4 albums to choose from, that we'll probably pick something, and I'm not just saying this, it might likely be recorded in France, because it seems that every time we come here, they sing the song better than I do, so I'm just going to give that mic.
You're going to start a huge tour in the US, touring in arenas. And what do you prefer? Small rooms for small arenas, or big stadiums like in the US?
Well, each have the good things about them. So one, when you're close up, you're right there, you can smell.
You can jump in the crowd.
You can jump in the crowd.
Give some beer to it.
Yeah, beer for everybody. I don't like the crowd barriers being so far away. It's just, I don't see the reason for it to be that far away. Have a football field between the band and the crowd. I mean, there's safety, and then there's just being ridiculous. But no, the big shows are good too, because there's so many people and so much energy, and there's that chance to win over people who don't know who you are, and you really push yourself extra hard. When there's all those people there. But same thing though, like it's when there's just a small club, the fans are so passionate that they pump you up the whole way to the gig.
Yeah.
Do you have other Australian rock band to suggest us?
I have a few mates in Melbourne. Palace of the King is one. The Lazies is another. Desecrator, if you like your early Metallica sounding stuff. All these bands are about to tour over here, actually. Dead City Ruins is another one. So there's a few, and they're all booking tickets, which is good. We're going to have some friends coming over from our home country.
What do you listen actually? What do you listen actually?
To them or to
on tour actually. This time.
Cool.
What's your favorites there now?
Listen
To chill out or to relax or whatever.
I've been getting to a lot of Muddy Waters lately. Two albums, Hard Again and King Bee. Last night I sat on my bed in my underwear drinking Johnny Black on ice, just to sort of with the door open.
Oh really?
No, with the window open. So I had Parry all out there. I was just had Muddy Waters playing. I had my whiskey. I was like, this is the greatest night of my life.
Not just last night.
Yeah, it was just last night. There's nothing left in the minibar. So.
Plus diamond in the rough somewhere.
I've seen the 2 artworks for the cover of the album.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to use, the zombie or just Joel?
This burnt, I haven't decided whether it's a burnt skeletal job, but what's very funny is the first one, just the normal one. That was a single artwork. Okay, so I was actually working on T-shirts because I do a lot with the artwork and the merch. And the guy who drew that did such a good job that, because Joel came in my room once. I was like, Joel, I need an album. I need a T-shirt. We can't just go to Europe and sell nothing. So I had an idea with someone coming out of hell, and then he gave me the photo that he thought was the best. I think it was from the Live It Up thing or something. But anyway, and then from then on, when the guy drew it, we knew he did such a good job that we thought, well, let's make it more so and more of a skeletal, burnt, living Joel. Funnily enough, you'll notice he's wearing a crooked tooth there. That's how you distinct it's Joel. Actually, on the album cover, you'll see a little crocodile tooth.
Because I thought it was weird because this is your fourth real album.
Mm-hmm.
Power Age of AC/DC was also your fourth album.
I didn't pick that either. Fucking hell, that's a good, yeah.
Honestly, that's actually a coincidence, but that's actually
I don't
kind
believe
of
it.
cool. No, honestly, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's weird because we got all the Hells on this album, and then that's like, that's the next album. This is Highway to Hell. So then we've already got 2 Hell songs on this one, and then we've got the Power Rage vibe.
So working with your brothers, between brothers, is it not too difficult? Like the Gallagher's brothers from Holland, for example, they always fight each other.
We don't let if we're fighting, it's over a hotel room or the bed. It's not.
We're like 2 dogs.
We never let it affect the bed.
Imagine 2 guard dogs that are guarding something very huge, like the garbage or whatever, like
They fight over the bone, but when somebody's coming in,
yeah, if somebody jumps over the fence,
we're both going at
then
it.
they attack them. But otherwise, they're both fighting over the line. Give me the bone.
Yeah. It all works. Cool.
Question?
What's your favorite place in Paris? Where can we find you?
Here.
In a pub? Street show?
Favorite place in Paris or France?
Yeah, in Paris.
Oh, in Paris.
Yeah. Maybe a pub, a striptease show. I don't know.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Most of the time it's all blurry when we're venturing around. But the thing is, we need to spend more time in Paris. We've been to Brest and stuff. We've been actually to Normandy and we've been around to different parts, which is great. But we need some more big nights in Paris.
We've got to take a beer.
Pub crawl. Do you do pub crawls?
Pub crawl?
Yeah, pub crawl. It's a name for what we call in Australia where you drink from one pub to the other. We need to do Paris pub crawl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, it'll be very long.
Yeah.
I'm up for it.
A month. We'll just drink for a month.
All right.
Question?
Cool.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.